yoga class. It was quite relaxing.
Okay, so it's okay for you to do the interview now?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, good. So it's an appraisal interview, and so it's to make a point on your objective during this year. Also to understand how do you feel about your integration in the association, and what do you think also about the recruitment, because you know we did the recruitment like a month ago, and also please feel free to talk and to tell me what do you think about your integration in the association, and your objective and your different studies. So I will make an interview with every member of the studies department, and so you are the third that with who I have this interview. So first I would like to talk with you about your integration. So what do you think about the integration weekend and the recruitment? How do you feel with your body, Marvin?
About this year, the integration about this year, it's quite good. I think it's totally different from the former integration with our mentors, with the 7 years, because at that time there wasn't any kind of integration. I mean, I felt integrated in the association since only January, and the recruitment was in like October, November, and I think it's a little bit long for an integration process. And that time, that's good. We were okay because we did like the with your buddy, you have a buddy in first year, and I think it's good for us to be integrated as well. It's a part of the integration process to make a relation with a second year at the department, but also in the training process, and that's really important for me. And I think it's okay. The integration weekend was quite good. And it was good to talk with every people of the association.
Okay, so now you feel comfortable in the association?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, good. And where are you in your work with your buddy, Marvin?
With the buddy is great because he's really motivated. He wants to learn a lot, and he asked me several times to do many things. I've seen him like free afternoon to work on the different papers that are needed to study, like how to do it in the website, and the things that you have to be careful with it, the things that you have to see, to notice on every document, and he was really happy to do that because he felt, as I said, he felt integrated, and he really wants to work on the association and to have a role in the association. And then I wanted him to go with me to an interview, but he didn't. He couldn't come because he had class at the time, and to make a proposition as well because he had sports competitions and he couldn't to manage to find time. It can be hard.
Okay.
But that's okay.
Okay. Okay, so you have a good relation with your buddy and with the other from the team. So do you think we did a good recruitment this year? Or do you have some recommendation to do about our recruitment process?
I think the recruitment is good. Like the person recruited are very motivated and is what we wanted. The recruitment was well organized as well. Like there were some problems in the planning, but it was solved very quickly. But maybe we could, because it's a little bit long, 1 hour an interview, it's long, but as we are a professional association, it's normal that you can judge a person in 10 minutes, and you have to test him in a little bit. And I think maybe we should first make like shorter interviews and make a first selection, and then go to a second selection with a second interview, more specialized maybe. I don't know, in order to select more people and find less time people that we think immediately that they can match with the profile of the department and of the association.
Okay, so thank you for your recommendation. It's the aim of this interview, also to find a way to improve the recruitment and all the process in the association. But also I have a question. As you know, we change some things in the responsibilities between the studies department and the commercial department. So as you know, next year it will be the commercial department who will do the interview and do the commercial proposal with the clients. So what do you think about this?
I think right now with the second years people, it's a little bit difficult because they weren't hired for recruited for that part of the job. That the members of the study department wanted to go in to make interviews, to make a proposition, and to realize the study then. But actually, I think for the new ones it's okay because the distinction has been well identified. And but right now has this a little bit in transition. That's okay because the second years have well understood the aims, the changement, and I think that's okay.
Okay. And you, how do you feel as a member of the team of the study departments? You feel good with this? It's okay for you to focus more on the on the management of the project, or are you like quite sad to stop with the interview, or to know that for example, for the future that your body will don't do the interview?
It's course that go to an interview. It's very it's very interesting. But we have done that for a few months, and that's okay to focus on studies. I think because it's like a new step, and the first step you went to interviews. And it was very great to do that as a skill. And right now it's a second step, and it's also for the association, and we have to make things better for the association.
Okay, so I'm really happy to hear that you're satisfied with this, and that everything is going well with your body. So now let's make a point on your personal objective. So as you know, all the members of the studies department are evaluated on different points. So I will just remember the score you did this year, the number you did this year. So for the number of appointments, you did 20 appointments. And concerning the commercial proposal you sent, you also did 20 commercial proposals sent. So it's a very good rate. You have 100% success in this rate, and it's the better score of all the team for the department. So you did a really good job. I'm very proud of you at this point.
Thank you.
It also shows that you really manage well to understand the needs of the clients, to make the good proposition, and you do your best to try to find solutions, to propose something to clients. So it's a very good thing for the association to try to do our best to satisfy the customer. Concerning the number of studies you signed 12 studies. So you have a success rate of 60%, and it's not far from the average rate, which is 58%, so it's a good job too. And I would like to have your point of view about your difficulties or your remarks on the fact of signing studies. Do you have things you think we can improve to facilitate the signature?
It depends on studies, because you have short-term studies and long-term studies. It is completely different. That the short-term studies are more basic. It's always the same, even if it's not the same project, the same sector, but the process is quite the same. You have different phases, and that's always the same thing. And it's more difficult for long-term studies, because even if like it is on the long term, like 1 year or more or a little bit less, the process is different. It's not like as usual, because you have different demand of the client, and you have to cope with it and to find different solutions, different alternatives to the study. But it's interesting. Okay. It's really interesting.
So what about you? Are you more comfortable with basic study or long-term study?
I don't mind, both are good. Like if you've done basic studies, okay, but long-term studies is more a challenge, because it's always not the same, and you have to manage more people, recruiting more people from.
So you feel more motivated by long-term study?
Okay. Yes, because it's changing it's changing every time, and so you learn more.
Okay, it's good to hear that. So now, concerning your studies, you actually finished. You finished 9 studies. Yes. So you have 2 studies in progress and 1 other. We will talk about it later. So I would like to have your opinion about your 2 studies in progress. How is it going on? Do you have difficulties, or it's okay?
For the first one, it's okay. There is we are in the administration questionnaires phase, and the appliance are okay. Everything is going well, so no worries on the study. The client is I contact the client every week to talk to him about the study, if there is problems or not, how it goes on. And the second one is about the implementation of work in Bordeaux, and we are in the first phase to see if there is bars with that concept in Bordeaux. That it is just big.
Okay, so for the second one, you are on the documentary research.
Exactly.
Okay, and you found your student to work on it?
No, I'm gonna recruit people in 2 days.
Okay.
Explain it in 2
days.
And
how does it work with your first recruitment for the 11 students on your first studies? It was okay? It was easy to find students?
Yeah, it was okay. There were the correct number of clients, but sometimes it happens that I don't have enough appliance for missions. So in that case, I can ask to the communication department to do a recruitment campaign on Facebook, for example, or just ask to members of the association.
Okay, So I think you heard about this, but we have a new project to recruit students by specification, like for example specifics for the wine, for the sports. Do you think it's a good idea, and do you think it can facilitate the recruitment? What do you think about this? Maybe this future decision.
I think it's a good idea because when a client comes to have an analysis on a precise sector, it's good that the person who is working on the analysis knows the sector as well, because it's good to have specific details, that can satisfy the client, and the aim is to satisfy the client. But I think that we should, on the prop position, that the time to recruit people should be longer. Should be longer, because it's not the same thing that when you recruit people just for administrate, like for questionnaires, and recruit people to do a complete analysis of the section of the study.
About this point, do you think we should consider the recruitment phase as a real phase in the proposal? Because as you know, it's not always detailed that there is this phases, and sometimes the client doesn't really understand. So do you think for this case, when there is a big recruitment, is it a good idea to maybe separate these phases?
I think we could incorporate it in the first phase, not the preliminary phase, because it is the phase before the administration phase. So it would be great to incorporate in the phase.
Okay, I take note of this. So okay, thank you. So now let's talk about your other studies who failed. How do you feel now? Now the studies is over. What do you think you should change for the studies, and how do you live with this?
So it was a study of La Poste, and it was a long-term study in 1 year, and we had different phases. And the first phase was to present one application that La Poste created, and yes, it was to present the application to every commerçant in Bordeaux, the city center. And is that we did, but actually the client thought that we, how to explain that the assessment of that phase, that if we succeeded or if we failed, was with the number of commerçants that registered themselves on the website for the application. And it's true that at the beginning we told them that it was like a first phase, just to present the application to the commerçant, because you can't go with them and register them directly on the website, because it takes too many times, like with the number, the address, the numéro serré, etc. And La Poste didn't understood that it took too much time and so too much money, and didn't want to involve much money in the project. And at the end of that phase, the number of people registered on the website was not good for them, and then they decided to stop the contract. And now I think I should have imposed myself more at the time, because even if it is a huge group, and we are only students. We know what we do, and we know what is good in the study, and we should have be more clear in the objectives.
Okay. So yeah, I see that you learn a lot, even if it's phase. So it's also a good point. But during this, do you feel like all the team support you, or do you feel alone? What do you think about the team spirit in this case, for example, in a difficult study?
Actually, as that phase was during last summer, I recruited many people of the association, and then they were on the ground, that they presented the application to the other people, and they knew that the problems, and so I felt supported, by the other members, because they were aware of the situation and the problems and the occurrence of what La Poste asked and what we can actually do. Well,
okay. So
possible.
It's a good point to hear that. So I hope it's going better now with the studies. And now I would like to pass on the other part of the interview. So last week you had a formation at the regional congress.
Yeah.
And I would like to make you a short case to see your capacity to react and how do you integrate this last formation. If there is something to explain you again, or if it's okay. So let me explain you the case. So it's a customer who is coming to see you in Bordeaux for AMS Conseil, and he wants to open a restaurant in Strasbourg. But as you know, it's impossible for us to move there. So I would like to know which phase, how do you organize each phase of the studies to satisfy its request?
I think there is a general surprise, right, in Strasbourg.
Yeah.
Maybe we should tell them to make to make the phase with administration of questionnaires.
Yes, it's a very good idea. But concerning the other phases, how do you deal with it?
I think it's us, because we're in contact with the client and we're doing the study. It's just we just can't go to Strasbourg to do the administration of questionnaires. And so it's us, and the General Enterprise of Strasbourg is just doing the administration phase.
So concerning the analysis,
it's us.
It's us too? Sorry, yes, okay, I agree with you. But how do you contact the other enterprise?
I don't know, maybe on Facebook. I have a Facebook page on the Junior Enterprise, or by the website.
So I think it's better to contact them by phone. I think it's more easy and more clear. Or you can just call them, ask them for the email and send the email. It's more easy to be sure that they get the information, But for the rest, it's good. It's very good. You really well understand the information. It's good, very.
Thank you.
So now we are going on the end of the interview. But first, I would like to talk with you about your expectation for the coming year. As you told me, you would like to work maybe more on a long case study. So that's what. Do you prefer that I put you more on this kind of study, or do you want to do both?
Maybe on long-term studies, because I've always done quite a few short-term studies, and it would be quite a challenge to do long-term studies.
Okay, good. But do you think you can handle long-term studies and short-term study, or do you really prefer to focus only on one kind of studies?
I would prefer to focus on the long-term studies. Yeah.
Okay. So, and do you think it's also a good way to teach Marvin how do you make a study, or maybe do you prefer to make some short-term study with him for this?
I think to begin it's better for him to do short-term studies, like the basic studies, for him to understand the process and how it goes on, like a normal study, a basic study. But then it could be he could progress a lot with a long-term study as well.
Okay, so tell me if you agree, but I think first I will start to put you more on long-term study, but still I will allow you some short-term study to be sure you can sign on with Marvin so that you can see the whole process this year.
Okay.
It's okay for you?
Perfect.
Okay, so let's do that. Otherwise, have you got other expectation for this year concerning the number of studies or?
Numbers of studies I don't know, because it's not the same when you have short-term studies and long-term studies. So I don't have a number, but as I said to you, I would like long-term studies.
Okay. First,
maybe short-term for Marvin, and then that's it.
That's it. Okay. No other recommendation?
Yeah, I would like maybe to be manager of the department.
Next year?
Yeah, next year. I would like to.
And you're not interested by the president?
I'm interested, but I would prefer to be first manager. It's like step by step, and to handle the role of president. I would be more comfortable with the experience of manager first.
Okay. So yeah, I think you have a lot of qualities to do that. So I really encourage you to postulate to the team manager post.
Thank you.
So thank you, Beryl. I'm very happy to hear that you feel well integrated and everything is going well with Marvin, and also that you work well on your studies and it's going better with your study with La Poste. Also, I really would like to thank you because you really do a good job in the association, and this is thanks to things like this that we can always progress. So thank you, Beryl.
Thank you very much.